Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon in Nashville.
I like the pregnant pause there. I think I'm just going to leave that in.
I would. It's good.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We're thrilled to death that you are here. And our new foam soundproofing is actually working quite well. I'm not hearing myself in your
too quiet
mic thing.
It's too quiet.
We've got a really amazing show today because this is
your life. Are you doing a This Is Your Life for me?
No, I'm not doing a This Is Your Life for you. This is a very special one because we have a very, very special guest.
Oh.
Not even on the line.
No?
No. Sitting at the table.
At the table.
Yes. Go ahead, special guest.
My name is Sam Jett.
Sam Jett. Now, where have we heard that name before?
On a Paul McCartney album.
Kind of.
And Wings.
And and
He's Joan's little brother.
But more importantly,
I thought you looked familiar.
Sam, you're one of the biggest contributors to our Would You Rathers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully you brought one along with you today.
You better get busy.
I did.
Oh, good.
Excellent. We also, in the studio, have with us...
John Esterly with Rare Buzz Effects.
Yes. And I want to point out, so first of all, you guys, we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great show. We're going to find out all about our friend Sam. They've got a couple of announcements, too, by the way. And
where's the jelly beans?
Yeah, so they are all very clever and decided to well, why don't you... You're wearing T-shirts.
There was an incident several episodes ago where Todd was becoming increasingly irritated with John Esterly and I because we were eating jelly beans.
Now, but
we were
let's
scolded.
be clear. Let's be clear. It's not that you were eating jelly beans. It's that I'm trying to maintain a high quality level for the show,
Which I appreciate.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
But you're wearing a shirt too, so
So, John...
you got to decide which side
Which
of the
allegiance I'm in.
yeah.
John, what did you decide to do?
So we had T-shirts made up, which incidentally, if you'd like this T-shirt, you can find it at Rare Buzz Effects.
Brother.
And it says, no snacks on the podcast, and has a bowl of jelly beans with the big red anti-circle on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
It comes across as very anti-jelly bean.
Yeah, I love jelly beans.
But there will be no snacks on the podcast.
It's like if you're talking, don't talk with your mouth full, number one. You know. Number two, so there was this incident, I will just state, when I was at the movies one day.
One day.
We were watching, I think it was Martian with Matt Damon. It was right about when he was about to come out, sorry, spoiler alert, for the first time, right? And I mean, you could hear my hair grow in this place. And we're in the captain's chairs and everything. And it's like, you know, it's a lot of money to go to the movies. And about 4 people down, I hear this bag start wrestling. Love it.
Love it.
And I think my wife noticed. She either saw me shift or do something. And she grabs my hand and just like, please don't. And so I took a deep breath. And I'm, you know, Matt Damon is walking out, and I hear this. And I take another deep breath, and then I hear it one more time, and I turn to her, and in a way that if you're watching a big movie, big screen, and you're supposed to be involved in this, and you've got a single piece of popcorn. The look I gave her was enough to make her stop. She can't see me.
But she knew.
She sensed me.
She knew.
She stopped and did a slow right turn at me. And I gave her the throat, like, knock it off. Not having it.
No one is safe from Todd.
Well, I also have, like, I can't
Misophonia.
Yeah, that and there's some other stuff going on with my.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
what's
I just have
between
bad
the
ears.
ears?
So you're in the movie theater, and they're completely ruining the moment.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Right.
You
But
know?
isn't
And
that
if I'm
part
in
of going
train
to a
thought-
theater?
If I'm in a train of thought with a guest too,
Yeah.
it was
Pass the jelly beans.
super distracting. So I appreciate that you guys.
We like to make a funny with Todd.
Yeah, it is funny, and I had a big laugh at that.
Well,
And
sort of.
You're all fired.
Yeah. Thankfully, I wonder what it would take.
Yeah.
Now you know.
I'm just happy to be here.
Workers' comp. Emotional damage.
Hey, don't we have some people to thank?
We do. We haven't gotten there yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we're genuinely thrilled to death that you are listening to our show. We really do love doing this, and we appreciate you out there. And I recently just got another email that was actually a little bit more personalized. It was like, I'm not going to read that one, but you never know when or where you're going to have some random connection from the universe, and when it happens, it's like it's just so great, and you don't expect it. And then, the world can be tough sometimes, and when you just get like this little flipping, I'm going to get a little soft here, and you get a little like butterfly land on your shoulder, and you weren't expecting it. It's like, wow, thank you, world and universe, for that. So, anyways. Sorry. That's first and the last time I'll ever utter the word butterfly on the podcast.
Yeah, on this week's Sissy Boy
All right, we got
podcast.
tons of stuff to do, and we got a lot of people here, so let's get to it. We need to thank for making the microphones and all the good stuff that we do this on, and let's just get rolling. Let's go.
Roll it.
All right.
Good.
Tanya Belansky.
What's going on in my
What's
musical
going on in your
world this week?
Mule this work?
Mule.
Wow. It is early, by the way. We're doing this on an early Saturday. Okay, and then we'll jump in with Sam, okay?
Okay,
Go.
so you want me to
Go,
tell
Tony.
you what's
Tony,
going on in my musical world this
Tony,
week?
be quiet and start talking.
Okay. Well, this week, I'm actually getting ready. We have a big, relatively big guitar show.
I'm so bummed I might make the beginning of it. I might
Well, if you
sneak
can
in
come
at the
down.
beginning. I might sneak in at the middle. At the beginning.
Yeah, just tell them you're with
I
Big
have to drive up to
Guardian.
Akron. So
But anyhow, so I've been going through some stuff and cleaning out my part drawers because this show has become more of a flea market swap meet than a
Thank goodness.
true vintage guitar show.
I would argue that. I feel like it's almost more of a. It's kind of half. It's like half and half now. It's like if you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
But people don't show up with thousands and thousands of dollars.
I know that, and you know that, but they don't seem to know that.
Yeah. I have always, if I'm selling guitars, generally speaking, the stuff that's under $500 sells.
Yeah.
Anything much more over that, it either
gotta
goes
be
to a
special.
dealer or whatever. So where I usually have the biggest success is, cleaning out my parts drawers and, guitars that I've changed out, bridges and tailpieces and pickups
You might
and
want
things
to
like
clean
that.
out your drawers parts too.
Oh. So that's what I was doing this week, is kind of going through things, pricing things, and got to get up bright and early tomorrow morning. And
It's
head out
exciting. I
there.
love that.
Well, what I really like about the show is the people that you get to see. Sometimes you only see them once a year.
It's the donuts.
It's okay. It's the free donuts. As a vendor, you do get free donuts and coffee. So, okay. That's really why I'm there.
Yeah.
But no, it is fun to see people. And there are some dealers that do come in from, New York and kind of the quadra-state area that it's always nice to say hi. And,
Yeah.
occasionally they have a project. I've actually, over the years, probably picked up 20, 30 projects that, people say, hey, I'm going to be here at the show. Do you want to I'll come over to the booth and drop it off.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. So that's kind of what I've been doing.
I was hoping to get to that one because I did have something I was going to say. I'm going to test the waters and put this up for sale. So, but I always like, my thing is I like to get there and, like a lot of the other people, is just like do the super intense radar of like what's on the table, just buzz around, and then you just kind of stand around the next time.
Did you bring those autographed 8x10s of yourself for me to sell at the show?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I'll make sure we get those out
Yeah,
there.
but they have the black cover on it, like the magazines that used to come in the mail. All right, Sam, what's going on in your music world?
Yeah, so I've really started to get in, and I picked up a new guitar. So
Yay! That's always a good day.
So we'll get to that.
Okay, all right.
We'll get to that.
All right.
So I just wanted to give a shout out to Gary Cooper, who put together a Jaguarillo for me. Yeah, so it's got some Brandon Wound pickups in there, and it's got a bridge from Swope Guitars. And man, the thing plays so nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's got Gary did a really cool finish on it. He Shosugibond the body of it, and then kind of blacked out the edges. So it's like a Shosugi burn. That's what.
Okay.
That's a proprietary thing for.
So for those who don't know, what is a Jaguarillo?
So it's. I think back in the early 2000s, Fender came out with a pawn shop series where it was kind of a guitar body, guitars that were kind of mixed and matched. So the Jaguarillo is essentially a Strat and a Jaguar body. So it's got the 3 Strat pickups.
Cool.
It's but it has the body of a Jaguar, a short scale. I happen to really like short scale guitars and stuff, but
It
anyway,
kind of looks like a short scale bass.
Well,
6?
but it's more set up like a Strat slanted bridge pickup.
yeah, this
Okay.
the actually all the pickups are
all of them are
all
slanted.
of them are slanted,
Okay.
including in the original Jaguarillo, they had the bridge was a humbucker, so I swapped that out and put in a PAF, and their low output PAF that Zach at Brandon wound up for me. So
Nice.
Nice.
so that's all slanted, and it plays awesome. So
Fantastic. What color is it?
yeah, so the
Or is this what you're going to get into later? Or is later now?
Now is now.
Okay.
This reminds me of Spaceballs. You know, and they're like-
Yeah, that's right.
so no, the body, like I said, it was Shosugi Bond. So it's an ash body, and Gary burned it live on Instagram, and so there's a video of him doing that, and then he put some oil finish on it there, so to make the grain of the burned wood kind of stand out. So. Yeah, pretty cool little. And then Indra Guitars did a brass pick guard for me. So sorry, Tony.
No worries. I don't work with metal.
Yeah.
That's a whole different ballpark.
So it has the motif on it is from Carl Sagan's golden record from Voyager. So, so it's got some of those motifs on there.
Interesting.
So it's super cool.
That's neat. Now,
That is quite a very custom job, man.
Oh
That's
yeah, I kind of went bonkers on that. Yeah.
So as a short scale aficionado, what strings do you normally put on your Fender short scales?
So normally I like 10s on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that I'm kind of weird, I know. But
That's you could bend for years with 10s on a 24-inch scale length. Wow.
Too cool.
Yeah.
So, for those that aren't aware, Gary Cooper, who's been associated, who was a supporter of the show, Partscaster Concierge is where you can go see that. So, if you go to Instagram and go to Partscaster Concierge, you're gonna probably have to look up the spelling on that, but you'll see this fantastic guitar. That's really cool, man.
Thanks, man.
Dope. All right, let's go to Jared.
Oh, yes. Have I talked about the Gibson push tone yet? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it on the last episode, but did you do anything more with that?
So, yeah, I took that thing apart.
So the push tone is a
Interchangeable
guitar that you
pickup.
can pop in.
It's got the thing in the back and where you can put the pickups in and out.
Without changing the string or taking off the strings.
Yeah, and I actually sped up the process myself. I got into the wiring harness area, and it was it was just a PC board system, and this was '08, so it's not like the ones that Gibson does today. It actually had, which didn't make sense, 300K pots for volume and 500K for the tone. So I yanked that out of.
Huh.
Yeah, I know, and I it was probably supposed to go the other way, but so I took that out and put in some just normal 500K pots, and I wired it so you could just change I used alligator clips and fed them out to the actual holes where the cavities where the pickups go, and you could just put any pickup in. The wiring doesn't have to be quick connect or anything, so I made it a lot more convenient, a quicker change, and for what I do, it really comes in handy.
Huh.
So that, and also,
well, let's go back to that. Is that just so that you can temporarily test things, or?
Yeah, so it's just instead of taking strings off and soldering and all that kind of thing, alligator clips and no strings and no soldering is great. It's just a much faster process.
But
So
if you found one that you really liked, you would solder it in, right?
not to that guitar, but yeah, to a different guitar. I mean that's basically just to test a pickup.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's a mule, so it's just a tool, you know.
Interchangeable
but
pickup in that
Yeah,
pocket.
yes, I'm familiar. Yeah. But I was just that's cool.
Yeah, but the really fun thing is I'm trying to narrow down which Marshalls I want to keep. And I think I narrowed it down. I have a late 70s JMP with a matching stack, an A and a B cab from the same era. I don't like the way it sounds. And then I have
that's a good selling point.
Yeah.
Sounds like trash.
Yeah, put that in the listing.
One of those out.
well, it's
best
just
offer.
too loud.
I'll be
it's
right
just
there.
Too loud, just like Huey Lewis says, it's just too loud. But I have another Marshall cab, but it's a little older than those. I took out the original Blackback Celestians and actually bought some vintage 30s. And that's just the perfect vintage 30s quads is just a perfect speaker for what I like personally.
Yeah.
And with my JCM 2000, which is I think 15 years old, maybe a little older than that, but I bought that brand new and I still love the way that amp sounds.
So let me get this.
Like
let me see if I get this right. You prefer the sound of a JCM 2000.
Yeah, JCM 2000
over a JMP.
This particular instance, yes.
Okay.
And I know it's weird, but I do have my 1973 JMP
There.
on my older stack.
Yeah.
With pre-Rolla, and that thing sounds just as good or better than the JCM 2000.
So do you suspect it's the amp or the speaker cabinets?
I don't know. It might be the amp. Maybe it needs recapped or something. I don't know. It's too piercing to me. It's just too loud and too ear piercing. The JMP,
Okay.
the older one. So,
Are you
I
playing
don't know.
that through your aux?
No, I could, but I don't.
Are you playing it through your
I just
other
turn it
aux?
up when my aux go. No, I sold my other aux. I only need one aux.
Oh, that's right. Well,
So it's
yeah,
but
you should talk
I'm
to
happy,
Billy because
though.
Billy is he's a amp scooper.
But I'm really happy with the change I made with that cab and the speakers. I think that was a really good move, and made that one cabinet a lot more useful for me.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good.
Very cool.
That's happiness. Still have my oranges. I'll never get rid of those.
How about
And
the
I
grape?
can only-
Do you still have the grapefruits?
Lemons.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Lemons.
Oh, John
Lemons and
Esterly.
limes,
John
Lemons.
Esterly,
citrus.
what's going on in your music world?
So, full disclosure, I haven't had a chance to plug it in, but Thursday, I went up to Austin Guitar and picked up you may recall I accidentally bought a Les Paul and replaced all the hardware. I'd love for this to become like the Brandon Wound pickup.
This
Hour
doesn't
of
sound
Love,
accidental.
put a set of the Brandon Wound 59s in it, took it up to Austin's to get it set up, and picked it up, and it strums real well, but again, I haven't had a chance to get it plugged into the amp yet and hear what everything sounds
Where's
like.
Austin's at?
Where's
Austin's at?
He's up on Indianola, just south of Morse Road. So kind of the north end area.
So he's near what? He's near Sean.
Not too far, a couple blocks away.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, had an opportunity to do that. Dropped another guitar off with Austin to get set up. We're going to be doing this for a while. I've got a bunch that are like 2/3
You
of the way
went
done.
on a shopping spree, didn't you?
I did. It was a expensive few months back in the middle of 2022. So, yeah, but
Awesome.
Again, haven't had a chance to really, hear how it sounds, but it definitely plays and feels better than it did when I started with it. So
Nice. Todd, what about
Super
you?
duper. Well, mine's super easy. I got a couple of new Schaller
Strap
lock systems that I did a little unboxing for it, but that's going on the Cabernita.
So,
and
in looking at the video that you posted,
Yeah.
So did they change? Because
They
the
did.
old strap locks had
a nut,
and this has like a knurled screw nut thingy
screw nut.
with a locking Allen
It has
key.
a tiny Allen key, the tiniest of Allen keys. Actually,
Do you like it?
actually, it's not an Allen key. It's a teeny tiny screw.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
I thought
no,
it
it's
had-
an Allen key.
yeah, or an Allen.
Does it
did a
come
little
with the
tiny
wrench?
screw on something else later. It does not.
Okay.
So they're
You have
trusting
to-
that you have an
you
Allen
have
wrench.
the-
You know, you think for what they charge for those, they could throw a
Yeah.
10-cent Allen key in there.
Yeah. I'd agree. It would
Get
be a
on
very
it,
tiny
Schaller.
one.
Come on.
But honestly, just getting him finger tight, it's like
Yeah.
you if you just check it every once in a while, you're going to be fine.
right.
And
Yeah.
that was my whole beef with the system before is that when you screw the screw way down, ultimately it's going to come loose. You having and the screw is really, really thin, so it's hard to get your fingers on that, and then it gets sharp if you've been using pliers or something stupid. And then if you do have it tight, the way that you hold the guitar at a certain point, the inner cup will kind of start to twist on you a little bit
Yeah.
after a while, but it's still tight, so you can't. It's hard to loosen it. It was just cumbersome, and it wasn't the optimal system. And the new one that they have now is, I just think it's so much better. It's a huge improvement on something that they had been doing a long time. The actual locking system is fantastic.
That is my preferred system.
I never worry about that at all. And I got the tip. I might have been from Drew Foppy. Is just a drop of 3-in-1 oil on the little retracting plug, the spring plug, because sometimes that'll start to get stiff, and then if it gets stiff and like stays open, you know.
Well, but the beauty of that system is even if that push-pull
that
thing
happens.
fails, it's kind of a U-shaped cup.
Yes.
So it's the older systems
You'd be
that
hard pressed for that thing to get loose on you.
yes.
And because I have to transport my guitars a lot, from gigs and stuff, not having them in the actual, having the straps on in
Right.
the case, is kind of nice. So I can just pop the straps off, bada bing, bow.
Yeah.
Done.
No, I agree. That's a good choice.
Yeah. So I put that on the Jack Cassidy bass too.
Smart.
Both.
All of my guitars have the Schaller style stuff on them.
So
Hey, Todd, before we go any further,
yeah.
there's one more thing that I think these guys wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll defer to Sam, but
Okay.
I'll fill in the blanks as they come in.
Yeah, so John and I came to the studio this morning, and we unboxed a guitar for the I guess for the podcast here. So it is the Todd guitar. So it is
it's not a flower pattern like anti, like, ooh, what a lovely guitar.
Like like inverse.
Anti-M.
So it's a Stratocaster with a
check.
Yeah, it's a Stratocaster with a gold flake, like super gold flake body, and a black pickguard.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So
Gorgeous is one
And
word.
gorgeous,
Gorgeous.
and for those who don't know, Todd's preferred guitars are black with a gold sparkle guard. So
Yes.
this is the opposite of that.
Yes.
I'm calling it the Evil 20 as opposed to the Vinny. So,
The
but-
Evil 20. I like it.
It's the car to kit.
Yeah. I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So so it's got a. I'll describe it a little bit. So we talked about the color. It's got a Warmoth neck on it, and the pickups are Brandon wound pickups, and they're your standard Strat pickups there, and Gun Street wiring. They did the wiring harness for it. And it's got a crinkle-bind boost. And John, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
So the crinkle-bind boost is built into the volume knob. It's a push-pull volume knob. So when it's in the in position or the pushed position, it's just standard passive volume. But if you pull it out, it actually is a MOSFET-based boost and just adds a little bit more push to the guitar. So that's all wired into the volume knob.
Yeah, so it's got that feature in there, and I just want to say Bill Gola Guitars did such a great job with this. So
And they're in flipping Australia.
Yeah, so this all, let me back up a little bit. This all started October 2021.
Yeah.
So John and I were messaging back and forth, and we were like, hey, wouldn't it be funny to essentially pull a prank, right? On air, haha. And it's like, and so I remember I was in the library, and in Winchester, where I live, in Winchester, Virginia, and I got up, in the middle of the library, and like, for a second there, I forgot I was in the library. I was like, "Let's do this!" And then, like, kind of looked around, and like all the
Everyone's looking at you.
You could, yeah. So I'm just, So I slowly backed out.
Breakfast Club, fist in the air moment.
Let's
and
do this. So over time, we were like, we're actually really going to do
I mean,
this.
was it just because it was a Strat, and I'm not a fan of Strats?
Yeah.
And it's
so at that time, I think Vinny was kind of coming together.
Yeah.
And there were multiple consecutive episodes where you're like, I hate Strats. So I was like, well, let's show him. So
Fantastic.
yeah. So that's kind of how it all started. And then Steve Keys put together the Discord thing. And
But huge thanks to Steve again for doing that. That was really cool.
that was instrumental in getting this all together.
I love it.
That was how essentially how I got Bill Gola Guitars involved. I put out a secret announcement on there, or I should say. Steve put made a super secret channel that Todd was not a part of.
I'm not even on it at all. So like you guys, I purposely was like, I don't want to get in on everybody.
Todd has very thin skin, so anything.
That's not it.
He wants it to be ours.
I want to make sure it's yours. That's not mine.
Yeah.
You guys have that.
Yeah. No, which is great. It gives us a chance to badmouth the podcast. No, I'm just.
I mean, hey, you need a place to vent. I understand.
I'm totally kidding. So, but anyways, it was the super secret channel on there was how this all came together. So I put a APB out. Hey, anybody willing to help put a body together, and Bill Gola Guitars is like, yeah, I'll do it free. I'll ship it.
Dang,
we were like,
man.
what?
Yeah.
So it looks like you are wanting to say something. John.
And when we first started this, I don't know if you remember, we were just going to get like a Squire Strat and rattle can it gold. And as it
Which still would have been awesome.
but as it progressed, we're like, well, let's do this. And then it's turned into like a real guitar.
It really kind of snowballed.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I kind of want this to be a real guitar that somebody be kind of, I don't know if proud would be the right word, but would like really want to play it.
It's a beautiful guitar, but you've really got to like Sparkle Gold.
You must like Sparkle
because
Gold.
it is. I don't know if obnoxious is the term, but it is
awesome.
Very much Sparkle Gold.
Yeah.
That's freaking killer, man. If you're on stage with that, people are going to be like, yeah, boy,
It's a statement piece.
Absolutely. Yes. And the frets are gold
The
too.
frets are gold as well.
Yeah, so that was Warmoth did a really, really nice job there. Oh, and I should mention Chase Gullett, he set the whole thing up, did a wonderful job on that.
And Tony also had some small part to do with it. Something about a pick
cut a
guard.
piece of plastic.
I chopped up some plastic for it too.
He did a fantastic job on the pick guard. So thanks a lot, Tony. I appreciate that.
Not a problem. It's my pleasure. So what's the grand plan for this?
So we're planning on raffling this thing off.
Nice.
So Mr. John Esterly at Rare Buzz Effects is going to set this up on the website. More details to come as far as when this is going to actually happen, but it should be in the short term.
Yes.
So So
it'd be nice if we could announce that on the 300th show.
Let's line it up for that then. Let's plan on, it'll go live for the 300th episode. We'll keep it live for maybe 2 weeks or so. And
Yeah.
Be the
do
strat
raffle.
show.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Yep. And then all the proceeds, we're going to let Todd choose a local charity that means something to him. And
Does it have to be local?
doesn't have to be local.
Just a charity.
A charity.
Okay. I'm not
Yep.
saying that I don't want it to be local. I'm just asking.
Thurman Burger Chain?
I'm just asking.
Pick Guardian Relief Fund.
Did you say the Thurman Burger Fund?
That does have a good ring to it. I
Yeah.
will
Well,
admit.
other people are steering other people away from Thurmans. So they need some help.
I don't think anybody's being steered
And
away.
you can get hot dogs at the Thurman Cafe too.
Anyways,
giant
there
chili
we go.
dogs.
well,
I'm excited about this raffle.
I am too. I think that's I have so many things to say about this. Number one,
Most of them good.
it really is. It's a killer looking guitar. I mean, it's really, really, really cool. And I don't like Strats, and I looked at that and I was like, wow, that's awesome.
That's exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah, it's really amazing, and I love the fact that almost entirely it's put together by people who've been on the show, except for Warmoth, which might be worth talking
you never
to them
know.
someday.
I'll talk to them.
And I love the fact that it's going to benefit whoever wins it, but also that it's going to help out other people. And so much of this show is about connection with other people and these little tiny microcosms of communities and friends and all kinds of things across several bodies of water even is really meaningful to me. So I'm extremely grateful to you, Sam, and John, and Tony, and Gun Street, and Warmoth, and Chase,
And Bill
Bill Gola.
Bill Gola guitar.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to
Forget
figure out
Brandon
something.
Wound.
Yeah, Zach and Brandon Wound.
And Zach and Brandon Wound.
Yep.
Zach and Brandon
A
Wound.
lot of people to thank.
A lot, and I think it's really, really neat. We might have to work out some kind of just making sure that the package is complete.
Yeah.
There is a black and gold snitch that's going to be a part of it as well.
Okay.
A what?
There is one of John's
Oh,
The
right.
Yeah. So one
My
of
kids
John's
just watched Harry Potter last night. So I was like, what? Snitch?
Yeah, we're gonna play Quidditch.
Yeah.
With the guitar.
Yes. That'd be the.
Winner of the Quidditch match wins.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it on the little placard there in the shop. There.
Yeah.
So I had mentioned that probably 8 months ago. So
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll get it done.
Well, I can help sponsor that.
No, of course.
Okay. Wow. What a delightful surprise that was. Thank you guys all so very much. And when we announce the go on this, you're going to want to move on it. It's a great piece. It really is.
Oh, yeah.
So, and who knows? I mean, this is like that. We're not planning on that, so who knows what else is to come in the future?
That's right.
I love the idea of doing stuff even more like that. I mean, we have the giveaways and got the announcements that we're doing that I'll be doing actually after the show later on today. I'll be starting to roll those out for giveaways that we've already got. It's nice. It's good feely stuff. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you all. Hey, Sam in the studio today. Let me ask you a question.
okay, shoot.
If I told you that the best way that I could conceive of stringing up a bunch of pedals on your pedal board was with Tour Gear Designs patch cables, would you believe me?
Absolutely, because that is exactly what I do.
You do.
Oh yes.
How many different variations do you have of those?
Let's see. There's the long one, the short one, the medium one. There's the U shape, the S shape, and Tony mentioned there's a
W shape coming.
Yeah,
W shape,
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, I mean, you can put so many pedals together because of the shape. What is it?
low
It's like
profile.
It's like a crepe, right? Or
It's
pancake?
flat. It's as flat as a crepe or a pancake. For those who do not know what crepes are,
Pancakes are thick, Tony.
thin pancakes are very thin.
Yes, and they're also called crepes.
Yes.
All right. Well, I would agree with that, and I'm glad that you support that because we support the use of Tour Gear Designs, and Tour Gear Designs supports our four on the floor. We need to
But
make
there's
sure-
one thing more,
Well,
Todd.
I'm going to tell
One
him, Tony.
I
thing
want to
more.
tell them.
You tell him, Tony.
Because it makes me feel good.
Tony.
Warms the
Tell me what?
warms the
Tell me
cockles
what?
of my heart. Because
get a
if you go
discount.
to the Tour Gear Design website and place an order, and you're going to want to order a gazillion of these things. What's that?
You get a discount.
Jared, you get your name read on the thing?
No, you get a discount.
Oh, what's and how do you get that discount?
You should tell them.
Okay. Well, even though Jared is intimately familiar with the
tell me what you want to see?
Somebody please tell me how to get this discount.
on your
Use the
checkout,
guitar
you go
knob.
down to the coupon code and enter in the guitar knobs, all one word, all lowercase, and you're going to save an extra 10% on your order. 10%.
Off prices that are already so low.
They're so reasonably
That's right.
priced, and they get there fast. You know, these are coming from Canada, our good friends up in Canada, and they ship within days.
Do they ship by Canadian Goose?
No.
Okay.
Because that would be problematic because the geese have already
They're already in the
migrated
south.
south.
It's winter. I don't know if
Yeah.
never really learned that. in
So
elementary
yeah,
school.
so the Goose Central is not working right now. So they have to, use standard postal.
This
dollars.
is I can honestly, after using Tour Gear, this is the first time in my entirety of playing guitar that I haven't stressed out about the
Yeah.
connections on my pedals,
Yeah, they're
especially
great.
for
Same-
gigging.
Same
So,
here, yeah.
go check them out. Thank you to Tour Gear Designs for sponsoring our Four on the Floor. Jared.
Let me get a little bit of this.
1, 2, 3. Four on the floor. All right, Sam Jett, supporter extraordinaire, guitar player aficionado, enthusiast, amigo. What is your 4 on the floor?
All right. First of all, I just want to say, having listened to many 4 on the floors, that's what a privilege it is to be doing this. It's pretty wild. But let's start. I'm going to preface this by saying I'm mainly a kind of living room player here. So much to my wife's chagrin, but. The first one here is Electronic Audio Experiments Longsword. So this kind of a pedal that's always on my pedal board. I run the boost and the overdrive kind of simultaneously. So the way I have it is boost is probably at, I'd say, 2 o'clock or so. Drive is down at 7 or 8 o'clock, so get pretty low, right? But it just gives it gives my amp just a little bit of push it needs, because normally I'm playing at a pretty low volume, not to wake the kids or anger the neighbors or whatever. But it pushes the amp just to give it a little bit of crunch, and it really helps emphasize kind of I mainly play through a 65 reissue Princeton reverb.
Nice.
And it just makes it sound so nice. But and the nice thing is with this particular pedal is the boost and the overdrive are you can turn one off, the other, and so you can really dial in the sound you want. And if you're going for a lead or whatever, you kick the overdrive on, you get a totally different sound out of it. But yeah, I mean, it being always on, it really, like I said, it just it makes the amp really come alive, and they did a phenomenal job design the way that it's. The controls are laid out are very very intuitive. Like I was saying, you can customize your sound, but the way it's laid out, it's not overly complicated. It's not. You can make some quick adjustments on the fly, and I really have enjoyed it. It's got a couple of other switches on it. The one in there's a switch for diode selection there. Normally I have it in the stock, but I think one mode it puts into the clipping's a little different with LEDs, and it really boosts the sound. You can get some nice overdrive out of those different modes. So the EQ on it is intuitive. I normally have everything at noon as far as the EQ goes, but you can really tweak it and kind of craft whatever sound you want there. So that's number one.
I was going to say, and the best thing about that is it was designed and built by John Schneider.
Yes.
Drink.
It's a little early.
Yeah, a little early.
We got to wait 10 more minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's noon somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
the question I was going to ask is like, what kind of music are you playing that requires this?
So normally, I've really gotten into surf, right?
Okay.
So I like I was saying, I mainly are playing through a 65 reissue Princeton reverb. That man, it really what was I going to say, the boost, it can be, if you don't have the reverb high, if you have the reverb really low, it can often get a little bit harsh in the highs, but you crank that reverb up and it kind of mellows everything out. So, which is, I mean, for surf, you have to have reverb.
Is it like like dark surf or classic surf?
More classic surf.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say dark surf, like a band that we played with that is pretty popular out on the east, in the eastern area, is Teen Mortgage.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you're aware of who they are, but if you're not, then
yeah. Oh, I'm going to check them out.
Yeah. They'll dig it. Okay. Continue. What's number two?
Yeah. Number two. So we were just talking about surf, but I also kind of like to play, a little bit of heavier stuff. So number 2 is Low Sounds Lady Fuzz. Oh man! So Aisha is a fantastic human being. So she has made this fuzz that it sounds amazing. So she makes your Super Fuzz, Atari Fuzz, but I really enjoy this particular pedal. Mainly, I really like the mids knob on it. So it's similar to a big muff pie, but the tone control has been modified a bit, and it really so you can go if you have it all the way turned all the way counterclockwise, it really kind of opens the mids up. If you turn clockwise, I tend to like your scooped mids kind of sound when I'm playing a muff pie. So, but the beautiful thing about this is that there's such a wide range of sounds you can get out of it. But in the particular transistor she put in there, it's warm, it's fuzzy, it's, oh my God, it's loud. So, which unfortunately I normally can't open it up, but when I can, it's pretty great just from being in a living room, right?
Sounds like you need a torpedo Captor X or something like that.
Yeah,
to attenuate that,
tone things down a bit, as it were.
Get all the good stuff without all the total racket.
Yeah, right. Gotcha.
Or an aux. Get an aux.
Or if you want to, or get 2 Captor X's instead of 1 aux. Okay. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
We have derailed you. Go ahead.
All good, man. All good. So, so it's got the mids control, and it's got your usual muff pie controls where you get your volume, your tone, and gain. So yeah, I really enjoy that one.
Number 3.
Number 3. So I'm going to say Native Audio Rising Sun Tremolo.
Mikey.
Yeah. So it's an optical tremolo. It's super warm. It sounds really, really, really nice. So the electronic engineering in it is spot on. So he's got it so you can do. He's jammed a lot of stuff into it. But at the same time, it's so easy to use. So it has tap tempo. It has a momentary switch. Different. You can ramp up and down the tremolo effect. There's several different ramps that you can use. Really, really, really cool design. So, and plus what really drew me to it was the story behind it. And so every pedal that he comes out with has a really kind of deep story with it. That's based on his
deep dude.
Yeah, it was based on his heritage, and I wanted to support that, and plus kind of the smaller builder and stuff. So, but the controls on it again, you can get. He packs a lot of function into a small package, which is super nice. Tons of functionality. You can. You can do shallow, deep tremolo. There's a ton of functionality with it. So normally I like to use it with the short, choppy stuff. But that's how it. But you can really get a lot of tone out of it. So
yeah, nice. It is a really nice sounding pedal, and he's a gentleman and a scholar.
Yes, definitely.
Number 4.
So I mentioned reverb. I gotta have the reverb. So the other amp that I use has no reverb in it at all. So
what's the other amp?
It is a Delisle, a 5-watt Delisle Vintage Studio.
Oh, cool.
JCM 800 voice.
He's been on the show.
Yeah. So that you crank that puppy up, and it's got some nice dirt to it. So, but I like to run a little bit of reverb through it. So an Anna Sounds Element Spring Reverb. So
That's a new one.
yeah, so it's from a company in France.
Anna
Sounds, ANASOUNDS. The Anna Sounds Element.
reverb.
So the super cool thing about this, it is actual spring reverb.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so it has an RCA connection. And it connects to an actual spring reverb tank. So the tank itself comes in 3 different sizes. It's in French, and unfortunately, my French is
The reverb
not
is
any
in
good.
French. That is
The reverb is
very
in French.
unique.
I know. So the names. I'm not going to embarrass myself.
In
here.
France, reverb's reverb, but it's le reverb.
It says,
Yeah, exactly.
It says
Because of the metric system.
That was actually really good. Todd, that was
delay.
good. That was good. That was really good. So it comes in the spring reverb tank comes in 3 different sizes. I happen to have the middle size, but it comes the largest size is essentially what you would find in any Fender reverb amp. So
So where do you put the tank?
so I have it mounted. I have a 2-tiered pedal board. I put it under the top tier.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Because it's
Yeah.
flat, like a crate.
then you can
Exactly.
actually kick your pedal board and make it rock.
Oh yes, you can.
You can do the same with your
wow.
amp.
It sounds like crashing waves.
Oh, you
it's like
do
the coolest thing.
Yeah, thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. How much is
Like
this?
when you hit the amp, and the reverb's on.
Offhand, I'm not sure.
That's really
it's not,
expensive.
Yeah, it's pretty darn cool though. So it's got the pedal. The pedal is hooked up to the spring reverb tank, obviously, but the pedal has a couple of controls on it. It's got a 2-band EQ on it. That's pretty darn functionally useful. And then the top 2 knobs are one controls the how much. The output of the reverb tank, and the other is a wet dry blend knob.
Nice.
So you can really dial in your reverb sound with it. And then the switch on the top. There's a switch that that might be a little hard to see on that on the picture there, but it increases the gain of the reverb tank by like 9 decibels. So
Wow.
You can actually get some fuzzy reverb out of it. It's pretty wild.
and then you have your pedal that's controlling it.
Exactly.
So let me
Man,
ask
that's
you,
really cool.
It's super cool.
Do you use this pedal with your amp, that Princeton you said you had?
No, I use it with the Delisle. So the Delisle
Okay, the
doesn't
one
have
that doesn't have your boat, but that'd be. I was just wondering because I would want to experiment and just kind of combine the real reverb with the real reverb that's on the pedal board too.
I have done that before, and it sound you can really get some kind of fuzzy craziness out of it, because normally I have in terms of my pedal chain, the reverb is one of the last things before it goes into the amp, so it sounds wild with reverb going into the amp, and then the amp reverbing it.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
This is all 3 plus the pedal. Is that?
no.
Yeah.
I don't think those are his tanks, though. I think those are just.
Oh, those
Like-
are Accutronics reverb
Yeah.
tanks.
Yes.
Not that those are garbage, but like the Anna Sounds makes their own.
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean, they
so
may
that's the
be made
pedal.
out of Accutronics stuff, but they're like purpose-built tanks
It's
to go with the
la
pedal.
Accutronic.
The really cool thing about their spring reverb tank is that they've cut a window into the top of it, and so you can like look down
it.
and see it, which normally you can't see it,
yeah,
right?
you don't see the
so
springs.
it's and like when you're jamming, you can see the springs going back, like making the reverb.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's one we haven't had on the show before.
We
and
should
that's-
reach out to them.
Yeah,
Them.
That's awesome.
Whoever them
How's
are.
your French? I'm
I
just
want
kidding.
one.
You know what?
C'est bon.
You know what I can say really well? Close the window.
Okay.
How do you
lay
say
it
it?
on us?
Fermez les fenêtres.
Ooh.
That's really good.
Ooh la la.
Close enough that they'd understand. I think.
My French accent.
What do you mean
sounds
open the door?
Open the door.
What did you say?
Yeah.
American pig.
Wow. Anyways,
That's it.
that's really cool. Like, the idea of having something that you physically disrupt to get a audio reaction. Say, I'm already thinking, I'm like, hey, the reverb, whatever, kick it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's cool.
of course. No, what's really, I mean, even though this is somewhat pricey, I mean, compared to other, like, I've got a Dr. Z tube reverb head.
Yes, you do. Let me tell you about that tube reverb head. The thing is with the tube reverb head.
The thing about it is,
designed to see. Yeah, basically what I did was, but
oh, sorry, Z. But those between that or like Fender makes a tube reverb head. There's any number of them, and they're double, triple the price of what this unit is. So this is kind of if you're definitely a surfing kind of person.
I would also say too that this, if you've got a pedal board that is capable of housing it, because this is not going to fit on a micro pedal board.
Right.
You've got to have one that's got
absolutely.
a little bit of extra space.
Jared sized.
I think this makes more sense than having like an amp top reverb because it's easier to swap around.
No doubt.
It's just part of your pedal board.
Yeah.
So I think versus having to, get it lined up in the effects loop or however you're going to have to do it. So
yeah.
And it comes with mounting hardware for a pedal board as well.
That's
too.
really cool, man.
So that was their idea. That's how it's intended to be used there, is to be mounted directly onto the pedal board.
Very cool. Very cool indeed. I'm going to have to reach out to them.
Yeah.
See what we can do. Because I think you just got like a whole bunch of people pretty excited. Like, I was not even aware of that.
No.
Really neat.
Awesome.
Yeah, super cool. Now, when you go home, play it and then give it a good whack.
Kick your pedal board.
Oh, my kids do that all the time.
Yeah.
It has withstood my children, so that's good. That's a good testament to its quality.
Yeah, you don't want to kick an amp, really.
No, you really don't want to
avoid
do
it. Actually, oddly enough, I was just watching a video of Jeff Beck was playing with. Oh crap! I can't remember who he was playing with. It's a super old video.
Good.
The kind
story.
where like it's all like the lights are kind of blowing out. I think it was black and white even, and something wasn't working on his amp. He was playing I think he was playing a Vox at the time, and there's something wasn't happening with the amp, and so this one guy comes up and he walks around. And he's trying to fix it, and Beck's getting really pissed, and he just starts like smashing the guitar into the amp, like, work, you bastard, right? And the guy's like, hey, I'm trying to fix it. And he's like, ah! And he's like just starting to like beat the heck out of the amp with the guitar. It's like, while he's playing. Amazing. Wow. That's my story. That's I don't have anything further.
No, I appreciate that. That was a good
Yeah,
share.
it's always good to have
share.
reference like that.
Yes.
Lots of very specific details in that story.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I think I saw that video. I saw that video, and the funniest part about that whole thing, I mean, he's like losing his mind, right? Losing his mind, and his tech is just kind of like looking around, and like there's people everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the place is full of people, right? And so his tech is just kind of like, I guess I'll just keep doing my job here.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Don't look behind me.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just, it was neat because he's like this master of like weird subtleties and everything. And he's literally just beating the hell out of the thing, which is like, that's not going to help it.
You're supposed to plug it into the guitar and not hit it.
Yeah. I think he wasn't getting the sound with it. Anyways. Okay. So Sam Jett, you are here in the studio today. We've already, we've been talking a long time already about some really awesome stuff. But I think we want to turn the proverbial mic over to you here in that we want to find out a little bit more about you and what has brought you to this place of guitar enthusiasm for yourself. Like, I'll start with the simple one.
Yeah.
Where did this all begin for you?
So I would say probably early 2000s. That's when I first bought my first guitar. So I was in school at the time, had a little bit of the way the schedule was working out, had some free time. I was like, I have got to pick a hobby up. So went to my local music store. I've always wanted to get into guitars. So I bought an Ibanez ARX 320. Didn't know what I was doing at all. Started plinking around on it, and man, absolutely love this. So probably a year goes by, and
What were you listening to at the time that prompted that?
so the thing that started it all was it was in 06 when Red Hot Chili Peppers came out with Stadium Arcadium.
Yeah.
And ever since then, John Frusciante is like my guitar hero. Like, that dude is incredible, absolutely incredible. The chord progressions he comes up with. That's it, John. Yeah. So, and the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure Frusciante has never played anything remotely like, because his guitar is a Stratocaster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure why I picked that particular guitar, but and it's what got me into it. So that's what counts. So unfortunately,
That, by the way, that
Yeah.
guitar is looks like something like Santana would play or something.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
The Ibanez. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it kind of inexplicable. The guy at the guitar store was like, "Oh, you want to sound like you play this?" I was like, "Okay," Yeah, I didn't know any better.
You want a country
Sounds like
gent.
there was a good commission on that
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a great plexi warlock in the back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So a year goes by, and truth be told, things got super busy at work. Got married, children came along, and I didn't pick up that guitar for a long time. And then pandemic hits, and I'm sure this story has been told many a time, but pandemic hits, work slows down a good deal. Man, I need a hobby here to fill
Here
some
am I
time.
again with a
And then I'm like, oh yeah, I have a guitar. Look
Yeah.
at that. So, and then
I'm glad you didn't go to quilting or something. I would have.
Here on the quilting knobs.
Yeah, the quilting knobs.
Yes.
That sounds riveting. No, but I picked this thing up and start playing it again, and fell in love with it all over again. And work started to pick up again, and I was having to drive a bit. So I said, I'm really into guitar right now. I need a podcast to go along with this. So stumbled upon you guys, and I've been listening ever since. On a drive, I listen, and it's been great.
Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. How did you, did someone tell you about it? Did you just find it, or?
I essentially, literally, Google search guitar podcast. And that was like one of the first ones that popped up.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I've been telling everybody at work about it. They're probably so tired of me talking about it. But anyways, I mean, it's been great for the drive and stuff. When you guys reference various pedals and stuff, I try not to have an accident. Just kidding. I'm joking.
What do you do that you're driving so much, if you don't mind me asking?
Not at all. So I'm actually an anesthesia doctor. So we cover various different hospitals and stuff.
An anesthesiologist, or is that?
I am an
different?
anesthesiologist.
Dang.
Yeah.
Did you bring any fentanyl with you?
Well.
No, Tony, I did not. I have better stuff than that.
Excellent. Wow. Well, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I have a funny story. Can I?
Please. Please
So-
lay it on me.
Sometimes
All about
guys
Todd.
have to go to get to go to get checked up and stuff.
Proctologist?
Whatever. And the last time they said, "Oh, we're gonna put you in Twilight," and I was like,
Love it.
Oh, okay, don't know, whatever, you know. And
Yeah.
I said, "Well, what is that?" And they're like, "It's just less. It's just, you know, you're out, but you're not out. And I was like, "You're the Docs, whatever." Apparently, I didn't really like what they were doing, and it caused a bit of a ruckus, and they had to go full blown
Yep.
anesthesia at
Yep.
that point,
Yep.
and we're complaining about it. They complained about it to my wife. He wasn't a very good patient. I'm like, no.
No. They did that to you.
Yeah, they did that to me. And by the way, I wasn't aware mentally, but my body was aware of what y'all were doing.
Yes.
And it was not cool with that
Yes.
because of what you were doing. Insert your own imagination. So
I have seen that play out many a time.
that's ridiculous.
No, I'm not
Granted,
surprised.
I'm like 220 on a gurney. If I could imagine if one is starting to self-defense themselves
Well, then
unconsciously.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Just give me the stuff,
yeah.
man. What the heck?
Yeah.
What
Cost an extra 50 cents worth of.
What is the
stuff.
point of that, by the way? Like, why would you say, we're just going to give you a little bit?
That's a great question.
The
Because
economics?
no, so what I'm going to conjecture here a little bit, but they were likely trying to just take the edge off a little bit. The problem is, you know, some people get a little. People react differently to that. So some people go to sleep and it's fine. Some people get disinhibited and can cause more trouble. Yeah. Like,
I don't think that happened.
so, no,
That's why you weren't a good patient.
they were, you know, like. Tony was making a gesture there.
Lewd.
That does
Imagine
happen.
Todd
No, just kidding.
disinhibited.
No. So in my mind, like you either do, you know, go full blown and control it, you know, and have make it a controlled situation, or be awake. Like that's that's my take on it. Because it's a little safer, but
My conjecture was that you'd wake up quicker, therefore you're out of the bed quicker, so that
Yes.
they can get another person in there.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
asked the guy, right, as I was like getting rolled in, I'm like, how many of these do you do a day? He's like 80. And I was like, oh my God.
yeah. So yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. So I don't want to
Yeah, okay. I
badmouth
was
anybody.
just questioning
Yeah.
because it's not often I get to sit down with an anesthesiologist.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Okay, please. So guitars, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So once I started listening to the podcast, it really went down the rabbit hole. So you know, I got rid of the ARX 320. I picked up a Fender Mustang, the Jagarillo, and they
Ah.
kind of really, yeah. So it really, it's really blossomed. But I really appreciate the podcast, and that it's kind of gotten me into the pedal community. And you know, I met John this way, and Aisha from Low Sounds. You know, I've been blown away by how personable and friendly everybody is and collaborative everybody is in the pedal community. And part of the
What?
so Tony's just
Tony was
making
making gestures like I'm a jerk, is what he was doing. For those at home, he was making gestures like John Esterly is the exception to that rule.
Yeah.
He's a big poo-poo pay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's really has meant a lot to me to be able to, because my work, whatever, that has nothing to do with guitars, and everybody's welcomed me in with open arms, and it's been really good for my mental health, and it's a great outlet. I've started to I've been working on some putting some PCBs together for different circuits
fantastic.
and stuff. Yeah, so I don't want to get into too many details about that since I'm working with a couple of with a pedal builder, but yeah, I'm sure
More to come.
More to come. Yeah,
come,
that will come later. But anyways, but it's just been such a great outlet for me, and I, like I was saying, the main thing that keeps me going listening to the podcast is a sense of community, and everybody is so friendly and open, and like I said, collaborative. But what I mean by that is, somebody has an idea, and they're not afraid to share it. They're not afraid to go to the rest of the people in the community and say, "Hey, how can we all come together to make this a better idea?" Mm-hmm. So, with the raffle and stuff, I just wanted to give back a little bit.
We need a name. It can't just be called the raffle. What is that guitar's name?
It's the Toddcaster.
No,
Evil 20.
That's actually pretty good.
Anti-Todd.
Toddcaster is what's etched on the neck plate.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just saw the logo,
No,
the
it's-
guitar
it says-
logo on the neck
it says
plate.
It says
Toddcaster.
Toddcaster.
It's the Toddcaster.
Okay. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. I like it.
Yeah.
The Toddcaster. Okay.
Yeah, the Todd.
Anyways.
It's the Toddcaster raffle.
Perfect.
Officially.
All right.
All right. So, yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that.
Community. It's great stuff.
Community.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, it's incredible how many, how big the world of pedals is now. Like when I first started listening, it was like, I knew nothing about effects pedals at all. So when I first started listening, so I was like, oh, there's fuzz. Oh, there's boost. There's overdrive. And so like the more I listen, I've realized that the more I listen, the less I know. Right? Like, it's like the world is so wide open.
Well, I think, and it's a perfect example. Like, when people get the name off their four on the floors, like as you did today, we always seem to, at least half of the episodes we come up with a pedal that none of us have heard of before.
Yeah.
And so it gives us, we can do a little research on it and find some new stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's what community is all about, right? Kind of everybody coming together and sharing their knowledge and just opening the world up to everybody. For the whole purpose of this is to make music and to have everybody come together and make more music. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And enjoy for things that, for no other reason, just to be able to enjoy them. Like,
Right.
I know that sounds kind of silly, but that's the reason that we have gear acquisition syndrome.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if do I really need that? No. But am I happy I
got a
have
room
it?
full.
Yes.
Room full
And
of
I
Marshalls,
love it.
man.
And I like to look at it. And I love to mess around with it and go like, that's a thing. That's a thing. And honestly, beyond the whole like, oh, do I get to look at it or whatever, there are some things that I've picked up that I'm like, I just got this because I know what went into it. I know who did it. I know that there aren't 10,000 of these and that there's a
Right.
unique aspect to it. And as a guitar gear enthusiast and as a creator outside of this, that's like the currency. That's where I find inherent value. And so that's kind of nice just to be able to do that.
Agreed.
Do that for yourself. Do that for yourself, people.
Go buy something today.
Yeah.
If I might make a suggestion,
Think about the thing that you've been like, I wonder if I should. Don't rationalize it. Don't figure out is like, is this going to be the most used thing I could possibly? No. If it's going to make you happy, if it's going to make you feel like you did something nice, not only for yourself, but from whoever made it, absolutely do that.
Hey, if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad.
No.
Yeah. So Wait,
Historically, I don't know if that's
Gerald-
played out the way you think it might, but
I can personally attest that is not. No, but like if you get a piece of gear, in my mind, if you get a piece of gear and it does, even if it does just one thing for your tone, and it doesn't always have to be on. Shoot, yeah, it's worth it, man. You know, like even if you play a one solo with it or whatever, you are like honoring the contributions of that pedal builder to the community, and there's something to be said for that, I think.
yeah. Indeed. So let's talk about that gear thing real quick.
Okay.
If you were able to today, based on my suggestion, you're like, I feel liberated, Todd, with that suggestion. I am going to go buy a couple things, doggone it, and I'm not going to worry about how utilitarian they are, or is that a good return on investment, Todd? I'm going to buy things to make me feel good, Todd. So,
Okay.
guitar. What are you buying? Like right now, we're going to walk out the door and you're going to do not ask any questions. You're just going to go pick it up. It doesn't matter where it's from. It's there. It's already waiting for you. What is it?
So I recently was visiting some family in Roanoke, Virginia. Went to a small guitar store there.
Isn't there a Roanoke, Texas too?
I have no idea.
Oh,
It might be.
There's a distinct
Anyways.
possibility. Yeah.
Texas is big.
it is. I think my brother lives in Roanoke, Texas. Could be. Go ahead.
So I was in this small guitar shop down there, and hanging on the wall was a '64 Mustang, and in cherry red. It was there.
It is Roanoke's in Texas, too.
There is
I was right.
in fact a Roanoke, Texas.
Sometimes I'm right. Okay,
There
go
you
ahead.
Rand McDowell
Cherry
podcast.
guitar. Cherry guitar.
So
This is your show, Sam.
so-
Don't let me interrupt.
So cherry red Mustang. It had just the slightest amount of wear on it. Closet clean sort of finish, and it was beautiful. I wanted to pick that thing up right there, and it really wasn't all that much. It wasn't. We're not talking like a.
You like the
62
stripy Mustangs? Like the
I do.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the race was it the race competition stripe?
Competition
right?
stripe.
Yeah. I'm not sure what we're competing for, but anyways.
Supremacy.
Short scale supremacy.
Yeah.
Not much competition there.
It was beautiful.
You're a lanky guy. How did you get in a short? Anyway, that's a whole other question. Okay.
Well, Mike at Native Audio. He loves short scale
he's
stuff.
super lanky. He's like, yeah.
You
he's
wanna
like
know-
one of those.
you
like,
wanna know
guys
why
that
I like
on
short-scale
Halloween,
guitars?
we hang it on the door, and it's a little
This is why I like short scale guitars,
because you have short fingers.
because my pinky's an inch shorter than every other finger on
Yeah,
my
that's
hand.
weird. Why?
John and I
Because
shared
I
a-
ordered the wrong size.
I mean, who's got square hands though? Oh, that's really weird. Wait, everybody look at your pinkies real quick.
Everybody's looking at their hands.
This pinky is lower than my
yeah,
other one.
That's
Look at that.
Yeah, that is.
I think I'm
That is common.
Now I'll never be able to look at pinkies again in the same way.
On the Human Anatomy podcast.
Yeesh. Okay.
Well, if you're a werewolf, the pinky is actually longer than your other fingers. Your fingers go this way.
If you're a werewolf.
If
though.
you're a werewolf.
Okay. Well,
Well, thank goodness.
none of us are
God,
werewolves.
we're not werewolves.
Racing stripes.
That
Am
would
I
be-
right?
yeah, oh, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So
Competition
All
stripes.
right. So you're gonna go. You're doing the trifecta here.
Okay.
Next is a pedal.
Oh boy, that I'm buying right this second.
Money is no object.
Money is no object.
And the fact that John's sitting here isn't an object either.
I think he'd be more worried about the fact that I'm his ride than the fact that I'm sitting here.
Yeah,
I'll give you a ride.
am I able to mention the thing that's dropping today? Is
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
There's a thing dropping today.
Okay.
You clearly haven't been online yet.
So I'm going to pick up a rubidium.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Is this where you drop
rubidium.
it or something?
No, you'll find out later.
Okay.
It's already dropped.
It is?
Yeah.
You just said you're dropping today.
Yeah, I got bored during breakfast. It dropped this morning.
Okay.
So a rare buzz effects rubidium. It's a John. Why don't you steer me a little bit here?
So it is our take on the Color Sound Supa tone bender, which is not a tone bender. It is their take on the early triangle Big Muff. So it's
I do like a big muff.
much like the Lady Fuzz. We added a mids control. We call it scoop. You can add in the amount of mid scoop, and then we've got switchable clipping, and it's landscape orientation, if that makes sense. So it sits sideways to what you would normally expect. And neat art.
It is neat.
Pink
That's
and purple
cool.
over silver,
Nice.
That's what I'm gonna buy.
because pink sells.
and
It
purple
does.
cells.
Purple
It's
sells.
the color of royalty.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's sorted out.
Okay.
What are you running all these through?
Oh boy. You know what? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna fire up the time machine, and I'm gonna go to 1965 and pick up an actual Princeton reverb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's one sitting in the next room if you just want to grab it on the way out.
Yeah, it's,
Oh,
everything
I'm
here's
sure time
free.
machine.
I'm sure John won't mind.
He'll never know.
The airport security will be totally fine with that. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's carry on.
Yeah.
Fits in the overhead bin.
That's what I'm picking up, man.
Okay.
Nice.
I dig it.
I
I
dig
dig
it.
it. Excellent. Is there any in like stuff as outside of the world of, I guess, dreams that you have been actively pursuing outside of those things? Any
What do you
piece of
mean?
gear, like, like, are you looking at anything on Reverb that you're like, oh, this is in my watch list or something like that?
To be honest, not at the moment. With the Jaguarillo project and all that, we're taking a little bit of a break on the gas there. I've collected quite a few pedals over the last few months. Thanks a lot, John.
No, thank you.
So honestly, there's quite a few pedals at the house right now that I need to plug in and run through. So
Nice.
Not to dodge your question, but to dodge your question.
Sure.
So-
Yeah. It sounds like you should maybe start doing a little demo-y kind of stuff.
Yeah,
For fun, you know?
So actually, I'm gonna pick your brain afterwards in terms of audio interfaces,
Sure.
that sort of thing.
Cool.
But yeah, I think Steve Keys and I we're talking about putting some stuff up on Discord and really trying to get that up and running. So yeah.
Okay.
More
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
Perfect.
Dr. Demo.
Dr. Demo.
Oh, I like it.
They'll put you to sleep.
And then
No, they
you can cut to a cheesy card with you in your thing, and then it says the doctor is in. You're like, all right. Anyways,
Shouldn't have told us what you did.
He asked.
all right. Well, Sam, we truly appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you
Absolutely,
came
yeah.
in today. And it's
been a blast.
It was a great opportunity to meet you in person, get to know somebody that we've had a relationship with for a while now, and I'm really grateful for you. Thank you.
We
very
all
much
are.
appreciate that. No,
Mostly
you guys are fantastic.
Not so much Tony.
Tony, we love you.
I appreciate you, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, speaking of that, we're going to be low riding, but we need to pile in the old El Camino because we're going to swing over to Jared's house because
Jared's online.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's come to the time of the show where we do a little game, and it's going to be super fun because we have a special guest today that's going to do our Would You Rather.
He is
Sam Jett,
on
take over.
fire today.
Wow.
He is on
Jared.
fire.
Jared, I really appreciate you really bringing it for me today. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
got it. Yeah.
All right.
He's got
Shall
the
I?
voice of a middle-aged male angel. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so you get a call from your friend at Sweetwater, who first congratulates you on forming your new surf doom band called Mermanslaughter.
Right. Okay.
But they regret to inform you that the amp you ordered for gigging with the band, it's no longer in stock.
Of course.
Bummer, brah.
Yes.
However, your friend at Sweetwater is quick to say that they have 2 other amps in stock ready to ship in time for your first gig, which is only a couple of days away. Better choose here. So your choices are a Fender Reissue 65 Super Reverb or an orange OR100 head. Sorry, they're out of cabs too. Major supply chain issues. But you can use any cab that you want. More surf or more doom? What do you choose?
Okay, so the Super Reverb, just to be clear, that's 100 watts. It's like a
100
100 watt
watts.
twin, right?
That's
It's
a
actually
lot.
a quad.
Yeah,
Quad. Yeah, that's 4 tens, right?
Or it might be 6. No, the Showman was 6.
Okay,
So,
4
yeah.
tens.
It's going to bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's already been brought.
It's brought. And,
Okay.
and then the orange.
And the OR100.
So also 100 watt.
100 watts. And I chose they're similarly priced on Sweetwater. So-
Right. Okay. Perfect. I'm just glad that the Sweetwater band wasn't called the Candy Sacks. So, anyways,
There's no snacks on the podcast.
Do you know how
Todd.
mad I am when I order? And it's very rare it happens, but I'll order something, and I specifically order from Sweetwater to get the candy.
Ah.
And then
Just a bit of honey.
if it's not there, it's
I
like
get
I
mad.
almost want to send it back
That
and
is
be
a-
like,
yeah.
I don't want this anymore.
That
I
is
just
a
wanted a little
sad-
I
bag
want
of
my
candy.
candy surprise.
Yeah.
Where's my
Yes.
Bido honey?
I love you, Sweetwater. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
okay.
Okay.
Let's do this. So we got Tony.
Yeah.
Tony, go ahead.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah, man.
Okay. I'm without a doubt. It's the Super Reverb. I mean, that's the sound. That's it. If you're in a surf band, that's what you want.
Yeah, but it's surf doom.
Surf doom.
That's the crux of the situation.
well, then you just run your
If you show
doom,
at
your
a
doom
Doom
pedal
show
right before.
And everybody else has got these giant Atlas cab towers, and you're like, "Where's my Super?"
I'm just going to run a
Reverb?"
snitch in front of the Super.
I like the way you think.
He likes the way you work it. No diggity.
We got a bag.
Oh yeah, you gotta bag it up. Yeah.
Wow, everybody jumped on that. All right, Jared.
Oh, give me the orange. Give me the orange. I love
You're
orange.
an orange
I mean,
man, aren't you?
I am, but I'm not against the old reverb either. I there would be a coin flip, but I think I'm going to lean a little towards the orange. I'd rather have the Brit.
You know, the biggest
Sound.
problem I have with the orange are the little drawings that they have on each of the controls.
Your roaring.
They just make me crazy. I want something that says volume. I want something that says bass. I want mid and treble.
How does that affect the sound?
It
there's
doesn't,
no
but
language
it
barrier.
psychologically gets in my head, and I say, "Wait a minute, what does that knob
Yeah,
do?"
it affects
That-
the sound because you're like, I need to add a little mids back in. Is that 3 triangles or a square and a circle?
Yeah.
That's a fair
Well,
point.
you know,
you sit there and
anybody
fiddle
in the
and you're
world
like,
can
oh,
use
yeah.
it. You don't have to know English to use it. So
yeah,
That's true.
I guess.
Ish. Yes.
it helps.
All right. Okay. So, John.
The Fender. The Fender. For really the same reason, Tony. I prefer the Fender sound, and I think it's easier to add to the Fender to get the Doom than it would be to subtract from the orange to get the surf.
Because it already is kind of
That's a good point. Very good point.
Okay.
that's a good point.
And what are you going to do, Sam?
I'm going with the Fender. Yeah. So, like John was saying, I mean, I feel like it's easier to darken things up than it is to brighten things up. So if you start with something that's already pretty bright and shimmery, yeah, you can always throw a pedal in there, darken it up, boom, doom.
Okay.
Boom, Doom. I like that.
Boom Doom.
I am copywriting that.
All right.
What about you?
23
I'm
robots.
going to go with the orange, actually. And I've
Hey,
never
thank
really
you.
played an orange, like, outside of
You
standing
just
in-
hate Fenders that much that you're gonna.
Why do you hate Fender so much, Todd?
I'd play a tin can before I'd play that Fender.
I don't. I just think, I could get that, and then I could get that reverb unit that you were just talking about, the Anasound, right? And usually if you're at that kind of a thing, they've got some kind of backline because everybody has to have massive speaker towers. Bada bing, bop, bow. Plug it in and run. And I want to move the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're starting to convince me.
Yeah. So that's what I would be doing. That's a very
Because
clever
100-watt Fenders don't move air.
No, not at all. Well, they just kind of sit there and
The thing is like
wallow in their greatness.
You're gonna move air, but it's also like it's 410s, so it's I want to
You
want
got
to go
some
big. If I'm
learning
going to
to
do it
do.
big, I want to make the sound waves
Okay.
when you see them. You know what I mean?
Buckle some knees.
Yeah.
Buckle in knees.
That was a very clever one. Thank you, Sam, for another fantastic
that.
Would You Rather. You are
That was awesome,
you
man.
always you're a bounty of those things, and we appreciate it. I also, in the same vein that we were just talking, wanted to point out from Acorn Amps. I don't know if anybody saw this recently, but they are extremely witty fellows, and they're really, really great dudes. But they made recently, they've been getting very clever and creative with their pedal tops. And this one says, hello. And this is all lit up from the back.
Hello.
Hello, it's your Sweetwater rep, Matt. Just wanted to check in and see if you like the new pedal. And that is literally what is on the pedal. When you step on it, it lights up. That's what it says.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
It's genius.
Yeah, I love that.
So how many
clever.
people? We've got 5 of us here. How many people, like, just off the top of their head, can say who their Sweetwater rep is?
I can.
I can.
My niece.
Yep.
Yep.
My
Mine's
niece
Tim.
is-
Shout out Tim.
I think mine's Matt.
Mr. Spongy.
Everybody say
Sonny-
it all together. 1, 2, 3. Colin
Nice.
Blue.
Sonny Brandon.
All right. Let's thank a few people, Tony.
That's right, Todd, because this point of the show, there's a very special group of people we love to thank.
Would you
right.
rather?
No, we're not. Would you? We already did that.
What are you doing?
Come on,
My
John.
song. It's my song.
John. Jeez. Get him some stuff to inject in his arm.
Yeah.
Man,
Just knock me out.
you're going to sleep for a
Go
while.
to sleep now.
We'll wake you up in 15 minutes.
Anesthesia.
Twilight. These are our executive producers. Now, what's an executive producer, you might be asking yourself? Well, an executive producer makes this show possible. How do you become one? Very simple. Go over to patreon.com/theguitarknobs and check out a couple different levels in which you can participate. Become a sponsor of this
That's right.
very podcast. Each level comes with some very, very, very nice thank you gifts. Some that are just, it still blows my mind, the stuff that,
Blows it.
that people get. And the giveaways. Oh, Lordy.
Oh,
the
man.
giveaways. This is great stuff. If you like
raffle.
gear, just go over and sponsor. If you like the podcast, just go over and sponsor. It's great. And it helps us, and it ultimately helps you. So special thanks to these executive producers.
But wait a minute.
What? Oh, wait a minute. There's one thing more, Jared. Thank you for reminding me.
You get to have your name read on the thing.
Your name read on the thing.
Perfect.
I almost forgot that part. So special thanks to these executive producers. Moon Guitars, Vader and Pedals, John Halverson, Rick Calhoun, Trevor Gunberg, Elad Mizrahi, Mac D, Richard Kendall, Mark Garton, Matt Hart, James White, Justin Jones, Anthony Gemalero, Bielagola Guitars, home of the sparkle finish, John Esterly, Anthony Lathrop, Stefan Lamb, Michael Senchuk, Ken Sayers, Doug Christ, Darren Gregory, Tom Brazen, Rusty Sneeden, Ralph Gottschalk, Don Kloss, Gregory Randall, Brett Hogarth, Eric Hemmer, Stuart George, Michael Furman, Andrew DeHaan, and that bloke, Andrew Bell.
That's right. And his son. Hello.
Hello, Alexander Graham.
Hi, son.
Oh, boy.
But Todd, Jared, there's another group of executive producers.
Yes.
These are our Grand Poohbahs. These are the creme de la creme of executive producers.
They got to wear the fez.
They live in the penthouse of the Guitar Knobs building right here in Columbus, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And they drink a
right.
special orange liquid.
Used to be a public storage.
Yeah, it used to be. And they wear a fez upon their heads whilst listening to the podcast.
That's right.
As Sam Jett is doing right now. He's
Yes.
modeling it for us. So special thanks to these Grand Poohbahs. Tommy Manasco, Ricardo Iguareda, David Kaminga, Brandon Wound Pickups, Hex
That's right.
Matos, Michio Murakishi, Bob Crouch. Did I say Brob?
Bob Couch.
Bob Crouch. Jeez. Sorry, Bob. Jack Cadian, Tyler Rhines, LSJ Music Company, John Williams, James Pennington, Adam Johnson, Steve Keys, Cody Foster, Science of Sound, Brian Robinson, Jonathan Jerusik, Corey Nigro, Michael Van Zant, Tim Novak, Jonathan Daly, Martin Cliff, Sean S. David Poe, Billy Spitfire, Congregation Gear Demos, and there's one more. Who would that be? He goes by the surname of Dr. Demo.
Dr. Demo.
Sam Jett!
Hey! That is a kind of cool name. What's your name? Dr. Jett.
Dr. Jett.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually,
Doesn't
people,
Gretsch make that?
usually people say
The Dr. Jett.
Dr. Jeff, and I'm like, plain with an extra T, people.
Yeah,
Come on.
you just kind of like took all the cool out of that.
Yeah, you
now
really
I gotta put it
deflated
back in. It's going to feel self-served. All right. Well, thank you all so very much for the support of the show. We're going into our 7th year here, and I don't even know how that's happening.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, and it is very much in part to all of your support. We've got some great goodies that we're giving away, and which I will be announcing. By the time you heard this, I will have announced it.
Yes.
Some of those things. Anyways, and also, oh my gosh, please make sure that you're listening for your opportunity to get in on that. It's going to be a manageable entry into the opportunity to win this guitar.
Yes.
It's not going to be a like, oh geez, I gotta really
Mortgage the house.
yeah, or
and
anything
it's
like that.
going to be supporting a good cause.
It's going to a good cause. Yeah.
But if you want to mortgage the house to buy multiple entries,
I'm
we
cool
won't
with that.
discourage that.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
All right, Sam.
Yes, sir.
Can people find you anywhere online to see what you're up to in your guitar world?
Indeed. So at Black Bag Brewer on Instagram.
Black Bag Brewer.
Okay, Black Bag Doctor.
Yeah.
Right. Brewer. I'm a pretty avid home brewer as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a jack of all trades, master of nothing. Right.
Yeah.
And soon, the YouTube channel, Dr. Demo.
Okay. That's fantastic. Tony?
Head over to pickguardian.com. Check out some of the stuff that I sell. By and large, what I do is custom work. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you need, what you're trying to do. I might even have some good advice for you. pickguardian.com.
Excellent. Jared?
Jared.allen.brandon. Instagram, message me. We'll talk about pickups, guitars, and all sorts of cool stuff like we do on the podcast.
Including barbecue.
Barbecue.
And Thurman burgers.
And Thurman burgers.
Wolf from Wolf Tone came and ate one of those things, and he won the challenge.
He ate the whole thing? And
He
the
did.
fries?
I have pictures.
Oh
Wow.
dear, that is
Yeah.
impressive.
Yep. Message me. We'll talk about that too.
John, how can people get a hold of you?
So you can find me at rarebuzzer.com. That's rarebuzz with an ER at the end. At rarebuzzer on all social media platforms. Rubidium dropped 2 hours ago.
Nice.
If you want one, get one. There will only be 37 of them.
Only
Why
37.
37?
Because I have 37 of the chips that it takes to make it.
Okay.
Wow.
That
Really limits it.
As Sam found out last night, the reason it's called rubidium is because that is the atomic number 37.
Nice.
So that's the math on that.
That's cool.
The story behind the story.
I get it. You can shoot me an email, Todd at the Guitar Knobs. You can also DM me on Instagram, and I will share it with the rest of the crew. That is at Guitar Knobs. Please give us a follow and continue to listen. Share out with your friends and family and whoever else will tolerate you selling our show to them.
And
also,
if you really like some interesting things, listen to the podcast at half speed.
why?
Remember when we did it?
Oh that was. I've also done it
the
at
Cheech and Chong
double speed,
version
too, on accident.
Oh yeah.
I prefer the double speed over the slow speed.
It is pretty funny. And then also, please give my band, the Valentinos, a listen out on Spotify. We would greatly appreciate it, and it'll make your drive way more cool.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thanks, Sam Jett, for swinging by.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sam.
Appreciate it so much.
You bet. Have a fantastic Guitar Week, everybody, and subscribe! Yeah.
We were thinking Dirty Franks.
Oh,
Nah, go to Therm.
Yeah. In Texas, they have the red drink. I think it's called Big Red.
Big Red, that's right.
Right.
That's
Big
the gum.
They also
Big
have
Red, okay.
RC Cola. They
RC
have
Cola.
RC Cola and Big Red, and you mix it, and it's like freaking amazing.
Sounds great.
It's fantastic.
Thurman Burger,
Quite
big
tasty.
time.
All right.
This
Tony,
week.
be quiet and start talking.
Okay.
Anyways,
Thurman Burgers are better.
tater tots.
Oh, the tater tots are good. Check.
Hello.
Check.
Check.
1, 5. Check 1, 8.
Check.
Potato.
Check.
Potato. Watermelon.
Jared!
Hey, I was on, but no one else was on.
I
Tater tots
do love me some
are
tater tots.
What are you doing?
I have stage fright.
Yeah, right.
Let's do the show. Thurman Burger.
And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.